Howdy y'all, Amber here and welcome back to Ginger Cowgirl's Nook. Today we will be coloring this Spy Girl picture. This is out of Chibi Girls by Jade Summer. And I'm going to make this a 3-part video. The reason I'm making this one picture 3-part video is because I have to get 3 videos done within a couple days because I am heading on vacation. So my plan is to be, this is going to be part 1, this is going to be part 2, background is going to be part 3. So for this part 1 video, I'm going to do this little spy gal right here. And I decided that I'm going to make her outfit in purple, so I picked out my Toiletry purples that I liked. I may use them all, I may not, I'm not sure. And then I want her to have not black hair because I don't like coloring with black, but dark enough hair that it looks black, so I'm going to be using Cool Gray 9 and Warm Gray 9 on her hair. Essentially what this is doing is I was challenged by one of my kids to do a picture that reminds me of me and my best friend Chelsea. So this is going to be my best friend Chelsea because she's really short and small, and this is going to be me over here, so this is going to kind of be based on that. So with that being said, give me just 1 second. Let me pause the video. I forgot to grab my drink and I'll be right back. Okay guys, sorry about that. I forgot my Propel water there on the counter in the kitchen, so I had to go ahead and fix that. Alright, so as I was saying, this is essentially going to be my best friend Chelsea, and this is going to be me. So her favorite colors is purples, that's why her outfit is being in purple. My favorite color is green, so my outfits are going to be in green. Last thing I need is a little plastic sheet. Alright, let's get started. I'll save those ones for later. I'm going to use those ones right now. Let's see. And I'll be using my Toiletry markers. I still struggle with these markers a little bit. I do believe that they bleed a little bit more than my Cali Art markers, but I'm still going to keep practicing with them until I get really good with them so that they don't bleed on me like my Cali Art markers don't bleed on me. I mean, they do, but I've developed tips and tricks to stop that from happening, so. So I'm super excited, you guys. So I was going to get onto unemployment because I got let go from my job. And I was advised that it would be better to apply for all of that stuff like at the beginning of the year. So I waited, and my first day that I was looking for a job for my unemployment, I had filled out a couple of applications for different positions. However, I got a just simple things like a receptionist. I did a couple other vet ones because I'm a licensed veterinary technician. But I've kind of been thinking that maybe I wanted to do a little bit of a career change. As much as I love taking care of the animals in a vet clinic and all of that, I find it very hard because of on-call. And usually when they need me on call is on the weekends. Well, that's the one time I can't be on call because my husband, he works on the weekends and he works overnight. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, my husband goes into work at 6 p.m. at night, and he don't get home until 7 the next morning. And it seemed that almost every vet job that I went to, aside from the one where we did not have on call, that's when they always needed me to do it, and I couldn't do it. So I'm like, all right, might have to do something else. So I applied for a couple of reception jobs and things like that that were, just really, really, really normal jobs. And with me doing this, I set up my LinkedIn profile and my Indeed profile. And I let it be after that, right? Well, I did my things, and then the next day, I got a couple messages in my email from security firms saying that they saw my resume on Indeed.com or LinkedIn.com and invited me to fill out the application for, their position. So I'm like, all right, heck, why not? It might be fun to be a security guard. I've thought about being a security guard before. I think it would be a good career. And so I'm like, okay, what the heck? Let's just, fill out the applications for it. So I fill out the applications. And one was for CBI security firm. The other one was Securita security firm. And the other one was BC something. I can't remember the other one. And I'm like, all right, I'll just fill them out. Well, that exact same day from the time that I had filled them out, I had one gal send me an email saying that she wanted me on to do an interview. Well, she told me that I needed to fill out the county application that I live in instead of the general one for all areas. So I did that, and then within a couple hours of me filling out the right application, she sent me a message on LinkedIn saying that she'd like to put me in for an interview. She sent me one on Indeed, and I didn't get a chance to look at these yet because I was out doing errands and things, so I just didn't look at my phone. And then my phone, I get a text message, and I was supposed to be hearing from my best friend, so I looked at it, and she had got on to LinkedIn or perhaps maybe my Indeed profile. She got my personal cell phone number, which is fine. And she sent me the text message saying that she would really, really like to interview me for a position. When would be a good time? So I told her, when would be a good time. And we had the interview today at 3:30. And it was so weird, y'all. Let me tell you why. Because for the first time ever in my whole life since I started working when I was 15, I actually had to do like a video chat interview. I mean, it went fine. Everything was fine. It was just very, very weird and awkward for me. But thankfully, I gotta give thanks to you guys because the whole time that I was in the interview, like when I was preparing myself for the interview, because it was the first time I did one on camera, I just kept thinking like, it's just your YouTubers. It's just your YouTubers you're talking to. Just think of that. Just think of that. And I'm like, you know what? I'll think of that. And once I started thinking about that, I was no longer nervous for the interview. And I was able to do it just fine. And she ended up, it was really funny because obviously she really wanted me to apply, or she wouldn't have tried to contact me on all platforms. Like I said, she contacted me on LinkedIn, Indeed, sent me an email, and some on either LinkedIn or Indeed, found my personal cell phone number to where she could message me about my interview. So I knew that she obviously really wanted to talk to me for an interview at least, or she wouldn't have took the time to get on every platform that I had aside from my YouTube and Instagram, and tell me that she wanted to schedule me for an interview. So I get in the interview, and I'm like, all right, I've never done security before. Oh, I volunteered at a couple places, but it's not like I never worked for security. And she started talking to me, and she's like, okay, perfect. So here's what we got to do. And I'm like, all right, well, like, what do we got to do? Because I'm interested, right? She goes, well, we have to do a background check to where you get fingerprinted. Okay, I knew that. I knew that would have to happen. She's like, we'll have to do a drug test. I also knew that would have to happen. And then she's all like, I see here that you applied for either a guard, for an armed guard or an unarmed guard. You expressed interest in both, which I did. And she's like, well, currently I don't have any armed guard positions up where I live. I'm like, oh, that's okay. And she's like, okay, so as she's telling me all these things I need to do, like I have to go down for training at their head office, which is in Murray. And that's a good ways away from my house. So I will have to be to Murray at 8 a.m. in the morning. I will have to leave my house by like 5:30 or 6 in the morning to get there at 8 a.m. And then she told me that I would have to do a drug test prior to going to my training class. She also told me that I would have to do a background where I have to go get fingerprinted at the police station before I'm able to, before like my class started. And I'm thinking in my head like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get to all of these? Because they're not in my city. They're a little ways away, but the positions that she had me apply for are within my county. So I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? And then she's like, you know what, hold on just 1 second. And I'm like, okay. So she tells me to hold on, which was fine. She started putting stuff in on her computer, or maybe possibly writing it down, or maybe on her phone or something. And I'm still on camera. And I was just waiting for her, and she gets done with all that, and she's like, okay, scratch that. Here's what's going to happen. I'm like, okay, what needs to happen? She's like, well, here's what we're going to do. I will have my HR department go pick up your background check, because I was already fingerprinted once before because I have a concealed weapons permit. Or I had a concealed weapons permit. It's expired now, but I had a concealed weapons permit. So I had already had that. I've already been fingerprinted, which was the big thing. She's like, you know what? I will just have my HR department go and get this. Just bring $15 for your class, and we'll pay for it then. She's like, I'll have my HR person go pick it up before then. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I could do that. And she goes, and then we're actually just going to drug test you on the day of training, because I'm not really worried about it, because I already looked into your background and I'm not too worried, but I still have to run the background check, which I figured would be the case because I have to have a background check to be a veterinary technician anyways. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And she's like, and we'll just get you all taken care of and it'll be easy. And I'm like, okay, awesome. And she's like, and then you only have to come down here once. And I'm like, okay, I could do that. And then she's like, so when can you come? When can you come to the class? Our next class is on Thursday. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do it on Thursday because that's when me and my best friend are heading out on our mini vacation that we've had planned for months now. And she's like, okay, I totally understand that. She goes, my next class is February 10th. Can I put you down for that one? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I can make that one, like, no problem. And she's like, okay, perfect, I'll see you then. And as I said, I'll get everything taken care of, so you just have to come to training. You have to pay the $15, and you'll have to get UA'd there with somebody. And I'm like, all right, I could do all of this. So I was super, super, super excited about it. And I thought it was funny because I had been thinking about changing my career because I love being a vet tech, but it's hard for me to be on call. But I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So when I started filling out applications, I just filled out with ones that I've like done before. Like I've been a receptionist before. I've worked in a vet clinic before. So it was things that I already knew that I knew how to do. So, but then I got all those messages from all these security firms, and I'm like, well, I guess my new career path has been chosen for me. And I'm actually really, really excited about it. I won't be an armed guard at first, but at the end of the interview, the gal told me that if an armed guard position does come available in my area, she'll let me know to where I can get put down for it. So that would be really, really nice. And then she's like, is there any problems? Is there any problems with like you working, you know, at nights? Because that's when security guards mainly work, right? I'm like, the only problem that I foresee is that my husband works on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, so I won't be able to work those nights because, like I said, one of us has to be home with the children. And I don't think that she had a problem with that because she's like, okay. And then I ended up getting put into the class anyway, so I'm like, all right then. Not too bad, I guess. Not too shabby. So I'm trying to debate if I want to take this super dark color and color the rest of her whole outfit or not. I'm a little skeptical because I want the grayscale in her outfit to show. But I also know that if it's too dark of a color, the grayscale won't show through in the first place. And this is a pretty dark purple. So I think I'm just going to go over some of the places that I already colored with one of the lighter purples and make her main bodysuit, jumpsuit thingy, that purple. I think maybe this really light purple right here is the one that I want to do for the main body part of the suit because that's my best friend's favorite color. So let's color this part in. Oh, well, maybe. I think actually I could do this purple and still see the grayscale with how light it showed up right there. Let's just go for it. If it doesn't show the grayscale, it don't show the grayscale. I hope that it will though, because I love the grayscale in the Jade Summer coloring books. Absolutely love it. But let's just see how it goes. And I actually might, instead of making this a 3-part video, I might make it a 2-part where it's the 2 gals and then the background, and then do another video for the other day of the week that I upload. Because it is, right now it is Monday, and these are for next week. So for the week of February, this is going to be the 3 videos that I post, and I'm just going to color them now where I have time and just schedule them to be out. So when you see this video, even though I'm coloring it February 1st, you all will see it next Monday, because I color my videos on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the next upcoming week. So this is actually going to be the videos for the week after I get back from my mini staycation. So I believe it's the 7th, 9th, and 12th, I think is what it will be. So the Monday, the Wednesday, and the Friday of this upcoming week, since I am going to my staycation on Thursday. So, on my little mini vacation. Oh, I'm really happy I decided to go with the dark purple. It pops out all these other lighter purples so much. That's awesome. Anyway, so yes. So this might end up being a 2-part video. Instead of a 3-part video, because I thought it would take a little bit longer for me to color this little gal, but it hasn't. We've been coloring for not exactly sure how many minutes, but probably no more than like 20, I think. And I mean, we still got a good amount to do. Like, I still got to color her hair and finish her little armor suit here, but I think that within an hour, because that's how much I can record on this phone without it deleting footage, I might be able to get me colored, to get her colored, and her colored. for the video. So, and then unlike the other videos that I do, usually if it takes me more than one video to color a picture, usually what I do is I color them all, record them all, and then release them like 10 minutes after each other, so that you don't have to wait to see the next part of the picture. But if I did that, I would have to color quite a few pictures between now and 2 days for the YouTube channel. Well, I guess it's a couple more than 2 days, like 3 days for the YouTube channel, in order to have all the videos that I need to post, so that I keep the days that I told you guys I would post on. So that's why I decided that maybe for this one I will do both, like release one video, and then on the next day that my video is supposed to be released, maybe put the second part to the video. I don't know, I'll see after I color this video. When this picture is done, I'll see what I think about doing it another way. I actually really like her little outfit here. The one thing that I don't really like is I don't really like this really dark grayish purple, but I only used it in a couple spots, like here on her knee pads. I like it on her shoes, here on her knee pads, and right there on her little elbow, and on her belt buckle. So I don't think it looks too awfully bad. But what I could do is maybe go over it again so it's darker. Oh, and this ain't the right purple in the first place. Oh well. Whoops. That's what happens when you pick a few different purples and you have them all sitting and you're not really paying attention to what you're picking up. Oh well, we'll leave it like that. Okay, so there's that for the purples on her little outfit. Now we're gonna color her piggy tails, and we're gonna do them. Let me move my glasses because I don't want to wear them right now. Put these markers right here, my little thingy, and we'll start on her hair. But let me take a sip of my water first. There we go. So usually how I color hair is I take 2 or 3 colors, however many colors I want to use, and I color the certain pieces in her hair if I'm going to do like multiple colors. So I think the one that I want to start with is the warm gray 9 for just some pieces in her hair. And what I'll do is I'll start from one part of her ponytail or her hair. I will go through and I will color all of the pieces that I want that color, and then I will go back and color all the other pieces. So my best friend has really dark, almost black hair, and that's why I chose to go with warm gray 9 and cool gray 9, because I want her hair to be dark, because my best friend's hair is really dark, but at the same time I don't want to use black in the picture. And I'm gonna try to leave the ones with really deep grayscale, hopefully for the, well, I guess it really wouldn't matter. Maybe I should have used lighter colors. You know what, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to get the warm gray 5 and the cool gray 5 out and use those, because hopefully, or actually they are, yeah, they're 7s, not 5. Warm gray 7 and warm gray, cool gray 7. Let's try those, and hopefully they'll be just light enough that you could see the grayscale, and if not, then okay. He just won't be able to see the grayscale on her hair. But I have brownish red hair, so we'll be able to see the grayscale on my hair. So that's okay though. Anyway, so yes, I'm very, very excited to go to the training. I'm gonna hate driving that far that early, but it will be well worth it when I am able to get the job that I want and that I've actually been thinking about doing for a long time. I've been thinking about becoming a security guard, you guys, for quite a while now. So I thought about being a security guard or a police officer, like animal control officer or a canine unit, for a while now. So luckily for the security guard position, I don't have to go back to school to do it. So that's why I kind of chose that one, because I really don't want to go back to school. So yeah, don't really want to go back to school. So that's why I'm happy to get the guard card. It's only a class that lasts all day, and then I'm done until I decide to be an armed guard, in which case I will have a whole other set of couple classes that I will have to do, because I will then be carrying a gun with me. So yes, but until I reach that point, I am not going to have to. And even from what the gal said, that it's just another set of classes that lasts it's like a 2 or 3 day class. So I'd much rather be in class for just a couple days rather than months and months again. So that will be good. Good. So all these other pieces here I'm going to leave for the other cool gray 7 for her hair that I haven't colored. So like this piece, that piece, those 2 pieces, that piece. I think I'm going to color this one, this warm gray color. And right now with her hair, coloring her hair, I'm not really worried about bleed over because it'll just add to the character of her hair anyways. But I am going to worry about it right here along the face. That will be my face, because I don't want it on my face. So definitely don't want that. And I have really red reddish brown hair, so my hair is going to be super light compared to the darkness of her hair. When I get done coloring this, I'm going to take a picture of my best friend, and she's going to be so excited to see it. It's going to be awesome. Okay, so now I've colored this ponytail. I'm going to leave those spaces to be colored in the cool gray color. Now let's move over to this side of her piggy tail. And the reason I do the piggy tails first is because, as you can see here, this hair goes all different sort of ways. So I want to color this all at once so that I could get movement and stuff to how I think that hair would naturally move with bangs cut like that and stuff. So we're gonna do that. Okay, so I want to color. Being very careful again because I don't want the black to go into her skin. I want this piece to be warm gray. There we go. Cool gray, cool gray, cool gray. Cool gray. I'm going to take this piece. Cool gray, cool gray. Let's take this piece and make it dark, warm gray. I think, yeah. Color this piece in warm gray. I'm actually finding this a little hard to do with just 2 colors. Usually I at least use 3. But, so I'm like, 2 would be easy because of how chunky her hair is. But I'm actually finding it a little difficult to color. But, I mean, that's okay. I just know next time I will use 3 colors for her hair, but we'll make it work. Yes. The one thing that I'm not sure about though with this job, I mean, I'm happy that I have the security job. I'm not saying that I'm not. I'm just, the one thing I kind of don't like about it is I can't know where I'm going to work aside from the fact that it's in my county until after my guard class. Because from my understanding, you do the guard class, you take a couple assessments while you're there, and then based on those assessments, this is just my understanding, I don't know because I've never been to a guard class before, but from my understanding, then based on those assessments, then they tell you what position you think they'll think that you'll be best for, that they have open. And I know that there are 4 openings right around where I live that wouldn't take me too long to drive to. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this back section, then I'm going to go through and do her bang section, because I think that will be fairly easy to do. But let's see, let's color this right here, this color. Okay, let's do these 2 together. So I won't actually know where I'm working until I'm finished with my class. So that's kind of, you know, I mean, a titty bit frustrating, but at the same time, I'm not too overly worried about it. You know, I think it'll be fine regardless, so. Just color that little piece. But I'm actually pretty excited about it. When I started my unemployment thing, I'm like, well, I don't even know if I want to go back to work. Because my husband, he makes plenty of money to where we don't necessarily have to do that. But at the same time, I get where I'm bored. Like, it's kind of a catch-22 with me, because if I'm working a lot like I was when I was working at the vet clinics, I would easily pull 13, 14 hours a day, almost 5 days a week. So I was never really home, and so I started to feel bad because I was never home, and like, you know, just normal stuff that like I would feel like my house was slipping, like it wasn't getting cleaned, even though my husband did his best. It's a handful to clean. And then I felt like my lizard babies weren't getting taken care of as best as they could because my family likes the lizards, but I'm mainly the one that handles them. And so I give them baths and I clean their and like nobody in the family cleans the cages because that's me, because they're my lizards, you know. And then I have to give them baths and I have to rub them with oils and stuff to keep their skin nice. And so it's a lot that I don't really ask any of my family to do. I mean, granted, my husband totally would, but I just don't feel like, I don't know, like he should have to, because I'm the one who wanted them, the lizards, and I know the most about them, kind of thing. But like I said, if I told him, babe, I need the cage cleaned, this is how you do it, would you please do it? When I was working, he would make sure that he did. But I always felt bad. And then I got laid off from the vet job, and I was able to stay at home with my kids, which I really enjoyed. But then I started to feel bad because my husband Brandon was the only one bringing in any of the money. And that even made me feel worse too. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? So we'll just see how it goes. I like working. I'm a very independent female, so I really like to work. But then my husband, he likes to do all these little random road trips and stuff, and that's kind of hard to do when, you know, I work too. Now his job is easy because he works the same days every week and has for the last 5 years. You know, because he works at the same place, he works the same shift that he always had, and that's always Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. He's been working that shift for many, many years now, so his is easy. His shift is easy to figure out because it never changes. Whereas at the vet clinic, mine changed every week, so that made it pretty hard to deal with. Luckily, it did change every week, but we got our schedules a month in advance. So I was able to know when I was supposed to work, but it was hard because it changed every week. But it was alright. Kind of really excited that I'm starting a new journey, but kind of sad at the same time because I really love being a veterinary technician. So and I'll be getting paid more than what I was as a veterinary technician. The lowest paying security job around where I live is $12.50, which was more than what I was getting paid as a veterinary technician, a licensed veterinary technician. But not by much, only by a little teeny bit. So it'll all work out one way or the other. Okay, so this piece is a big long piece, so I will color this piece. Kind of stops in the middle of nowhere, so I'm just going to bring it up, make all of these little teeny pieces just one piece, and color this piece as well. We have those two pieces, and I think I want to color this piece as well, this color. Okay, now that I got all of her hair colored, I'm going to pull out the Cool Gray 7, and I'm going to color all the pieces I didn't color this color. So, and I thought the Cool Gray and the Warm Gray would be good because my best friend, she does have almost black hair, but she goes and puts, when she goes and dyes it, she goes and puts this really, really deepish blue color in it. So, and see, as I'm coloring with this cool gray, it kind of looks like a really deep blue, so I thought it would be perfect for her little hair. And I was supposed to go get my hair cut tomorrow, but unfortunately the gal that cuts my hair, she had to cancel. So the only time that she could get me in after her family emergency is going to be on Thursday morning. And on Thursday afternoon is when I'm leaving for my little mini vacation. So, yeah, that is going to be a little bit of a trick. But luckily, I got it early enough that I think I will be able to do the stuff that I need to do before I leave, like clean out my car, pack my bags, which I'll probably do Wednesday night, pack my bags, and clean out my car. And I think between Wednesday and Thursday afternoon when we leave, I'll have to clean my house at some point. And I think with me having my hair appointment first thing in the morning, I think that will help immensely. So I wish it was earlier though, so I wouldn't have to cut it so close. But my husband kindly reminded me that my hair's not going to take a few hours to do this time because it's not long. Like the last time I went to go get my hair done, I had natural curly hair way past like to like the middle of my butt, natural curly hair. So that took a lot of time for her to cut, even though I had her cut it super short. It was funny the last time we went in. So the last time I went and cut my hair, this lady, I had hair that was down the middle of my butt, natural curly hair. And she's like, "Are you sure you want to cut it? Are you sure you want to cut it?" And I'm like, "Yes, I want to cut it." For a couple different reasons. One, I have had long hair my whole life. Like, I've always had this really long natural curly hair, but it's a pain. It is a pain to deal with. And I was a little too nervous to cut it because I always had long hair. Plus, nobody in my family wanted me to cut my hair. My husband didn't want me to cut my hair. My mama, my kids, nobody wanted me to cut my hair. But I just was kind of like, you know what? This is who I am. I am very masculine female. I feel more comfortable being masculine than I do feminine. Not saying that I have anything wrong with looking feminine at certain times, because I don't, but most of the time you see me in, you know, boy clothes and baseball caps and all that kind of stuff. So my hair would always either be up two ways, either in a messy bun or in a braid. And I never did anything else with it, nothing. It was always either braided or in a messy bun. And so I'm like, I'm tired of my hair always being the same. But it was too long for me to do anything else with it. So I'm like, you know what, that's going to be a good reason to cut my hair. Plus, then I started working. I've always worked at a vet clinic, but since I graduated. But this one, I finally got really annoyed with my hair because even though I would put it in a braid, or if I would put it in a messy bun, I couldn't fit it in the caps that I needed to for surgery. And then if I put it in a braid, I still want to be able to fit it in the caps for surgery. And if I was bending over a patient, you know, doing something, my hair always fell down and hit them, and that made me feel bad because my braid is not thin, y'all. I have really thick curly hair, and so it was always a really thick braid. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just done with it. So I cut my hair, and I opened up to my husband about my masculinity and all of that stuff, way more than what I had before. He knew I was masculine female when he met me. He didn't quite know the extent of it, how I felt like didn't feel as confident or as pretty or as good looking in female clothes as I do male clothes. Plus, it's really hard to find female clothes to fit me. Not because I'm heavy, because I'm not. I mean, okay, I'm a little heavy, but I'm not like really heavy. But the problem always was for me, girl pants are always too short because my inseam's at 36, so they're always too short. And then with shirts, it was a nightmare to fit me into girl shirts because I am very broad-shouldered and very muscular and masculine, so it was really hard to find female shirts that would fit my shoulder area. And then when they did, they were never long enough, which was annoying. So I just prefer to dress in men's clothing. And then I'm like, you know what, I'm going to cut my hair. And then when I cut my hair, you know, after the shock of me losing all of my hair, I felt so myself because I could fro hawk my hair now, and I could spike it, and I could do all of these hairstyles that I've wanted to do for a very long time. So anyway, so she's like, are you sure you want me to cut your hair? And I'm like, yeah, I want you to cut my hair. And so she put my hair in a ponytail, put it clear up to the nape of my neck, chopped it all off. It was like, I think she said like 10 inches of hair. And then she started cutting it, and she started cutting my hair, and she had to sweep her area twice, you guys. First time she swept it, there got too much hair on the ground. She was slipping on it. It was a mess of just this reddish brown hair. You couldn't even see the floor really. So she cleaned it all up, and then she continued to cut my hair more stylized. And then her boss came through, saw all of the hair on the floor, swept it up, you know, because he just swept it up. And he's like, wow, you have a lot of hair. And the lady's like, yeah, and that's the second time. With you sweeping it, that would be the second time I have swept her hair since I cut it out of the big ponytail. And he's like, holy cow, your hair is so thick. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So when my husband told me that I'd have to switch my hair appointment, I'm like, no, I don't want to switch my hair appointment. I don't have time for that. And then I realized that I do have time for that because my hair is really short. It's not even neck length now, so it's a really short cut. I have a lot of my hair on the top, and the rest has been buzzed down, so I'm like, yeah, maybe it'll be alright. And I'm just gonna look at the time here. So it's 48 minutes 12 seconds since we've been doing this video. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do part 1, part 2, and then part 3 for this video. So I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you are having a good time. I hope your health is well. Please stay safe. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you like this content and want to see more. And if you do subscribe to my channel, please go ahead and hit the little notification bell so that you will always get a notification when I upload a new video. And while you're down in the comment section, if you guys will please leave a comment at how I could improve my channel, I would greatly appreciate that. So yeah, until next time, bye guys!